Hello everyone, I'm Andy from the Pixel Pub, and I'm here to talk about 10 games we've added to the Switch collection. Okay, we got 9 Switch 1 games in here, 1 lone Switch 2 game, and I'm gonna save that for last, so let's get into the Switch 1 games first. Okay, the first game here is a game that I just beat recently, just a few days ago. It is a Ball Pit, or Ball X Pit. Not sure exactly which one it is. This game is a Arkanoid meets like a Vampire Survivors, and it was very fun and addicting, but it took me like 25 hours to beat. I think that's pretty long, just to roll credits, because I think I was pretty bad at the game. Like, just like Vampire Survivors, you have all these different balls and stuff that you could pick, and there's a different combination you can have. You can do different evolutions of them, and you're basically trying. One of the big strategies is to get a build where you just destroy everything, and I wasn't making the best decisions for the most part. I did follow some guides towards the end, and to mixed results, but that didn't matter. I had a ton of fun with it, even though I was bad at it. I just loved going through the runs and just wreaking havoc with all the different crazy balls that you can have. And it's got a little town building simulator in between runs that was interesting as well. When I first found out about this game, I think it was on a Steam Next Fest demo, and I downloaded it and played it, and I thought the runs were too long. And that, I was like, man, this is going on for too long. I want to do something different to spice it up. And I kind of put it in the back of my mind. And then when the full game came out, people were playing it and really liked it. And then I saw there was going to be a Switch version, physical. I was like, well, let me give it a shot. And I did. And I had a great time with it, like I did. Like I said, just beat it a few days ago. Ball Pit, highly recommended for me if you like Vampire Survivors and Arkanoid. Okay, next up is a game that I've just beat fairly recently as well. And it came out physically on the Switch not that long ago as well. It is Thank Goodness You're Here. So this game I did play a demo of when it first came out. I feel like it was a couple of years ago. The back says 2025. I want to say it was like 2024 when I played the demo. Maybe it was. I'm not sure. But it is a very interesting game, kind of like an adventure game, where you're just a little dude and you're running around solving these people's problems in this town that's just weird. It's got just all these weird characters, this fun animation, these funny gags in each different scene. And it was, I don't know, it's like 3 hours long or something like that. It's just, you get in, get out, and you have a good time. If you're interested in anything I just said, just watch a trailer of this game. You'll get the vibe of it immediately. And it's just a wacky time. It just reminds me of a weird ass, I don't know, Nickelodeon cartoon that got through the censors and made some weird stuff, because there's some weird stuff in this game. But yeah, Thank Goodness You're Here. It was a fun time. I'm glad I played through it. I want to see more from these developers. Panic? No, it was a Coal Supper, I believe that was the name of the developer, I think. Okay, the next 3 games that I have are the games I picked up from Limited Run when we were there a handful of weeks ago now. First off is Scott Pilgrim EX. I was a big fan of that first Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up that came out in like 2010 or something like that. And the animated Gucci soundtrack that came out with it, that was on it, I really enjoyed. Got the vinyl, got the physical version of that when it came out for Limited Run. I just had a damn good time with that game. I wasn't really following development of this game. I just know that they were going to put it out, and I wasn't watching too many trailers. I was like, what are they really doing here? And when I saw it at Limited Run, I was like, well, let me bite the bullet, pick it up. It's got Anime Gucci soundtrack again. Tribute games, do wonderful stuff. And me and Kathy had played a handful of hours with it, and it's a different feel so far from the first Scott Pilgrim. First Scott Pilgrim, it's not all the way just go from the left or right, point A to point B, beat them up. You can do some backtracking, go back to different shops and stuff. This was full on, like, there's a little world where you're going around and solving different problems in each little district of the town. And there's like these different gateways where you're going to different places. Like, there's just one area that looks like the snow world from Super Mario Brothers 2 with the big whale in the background and stuff like that. I don't know, they're definitely trying something a bit different with the beat 'em up genre here in this game. And yeah, I can't wait to get back and play more with it with Kathy. I was playing as Scott, she was playing as Ramona, I believe is her name. And yeah, I think we're having a good time with it. Scott Pilgrim EX. Okay, next up we got East versus Trails in the Sky Alternative Saga. I think this was a PSP game originally that did not come out over here. And if it wasn't a PSP game that did come out here, it looks just like East 7, which came out on the PSP. This is basically like a fighting game, like maybe like a Smash Brothers, but top down, looking like a action RPG, where you got the East characters and the Trails characters, or Trails in the Sky characters specifically. Well, no, I think it does go to the Crossbow series. Yeah, there's Ellie on the back, I can see, and Lloyd's got to be in there as well, I'm sure. But I'm a big fan of East, and I'm a big fan of the Trail series now that I played through most of them. This game was staring me in the face at limited run. I was like, well, I kind of feel like I have to get it right. I'm a big fan of both franchises. And I played a little bit of it, and at first I was kind of turned off because trying to make East 7 specifically like a fighting game felt kind of weird. And I was doing very poorly. I was trying to go through like little story mode playing as Adol. But I got my wits about me, and I played through a couple levels. Okay, I could see the appeal of this. I could see myself sitting down and playing through all of this, even though I really just got it because I like East, I like Trails, and I just wanted to have it in the collection, which is, weird, but that's me. And I don't know, I wish they would revisit this idea. I know it's probably not in Falcom's cards at the moment, but to stop it there's Lloyd on the back as well. Just stop at the Crossbell era. Like, you're cutting off so many more characters. Like, the Trails of Cold Steel series by itself has so many characters you can add to something like this. And then the Daybreak series and East has had more games. Since then, I can't really name too many like big notable East characters outside of Adol and like Doki, because East, the story's not really the big thing. It's more about just running around chopping dudes down with some very fun music in the background. But yeah, that's East versus Trails in the Sky. It's something I didn't even know existed till earlier this year, and now I have it in the collection. Okay, the last game I picked up at limited run was a game that I was waiting for a while. I did pick up the prequel to this game at limited run as well. It is Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return, the special edition. This is when Tomba went 3D, which it was already kind of 3D-ish. There was polygons in the first Tomba. A lot more sprites, so this is all polygonal stuff. It's still kind of like 2.5D, where you're running from left to right, but there's more 3D exploration that I've seen in the trailers and stuff like this. I only played a demo of Tomba 2 back in the day. Tomba 1 I did rent a handful of times and got fairly deep in, but never actually beat it. Now I have both of them on the Switch, and when I finally get some time to sit down and play through both of them, I'm sure I'll have a good time, even though I hear they're hard. I hear they're hard games, and that's not good for me because I suck at games. But they were a big, white whale's not the right word, but like, they were a big blind spot for me in my collection on the PS1. I didn't have them. I only rented Tomba 1, like I said, played a demo of Tomba 2. That's the most I ever did. And now they're stupid expensive. So if I could have them on the Switch and play them that way, that's fine as well. I'll go that route and see what happens with Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return. Okay, next up, we got a game that Kathy picked up at the limited run game store. It's a game I've seen a couple of times there, and it's always caught my attention because it is kind of striking. It is In Stars in Time. It's got this completely black and white cover and a completely black and white back, but it's got the big red switch stripe and the logo up here. The game, as far as I can tell, is entirely in black and white as well. I don't know much about this game. It's something that Kathy, it caught her eye. She looked it up. She looked up information about it at the store and decided this is what she wanted to get and what she wanted to play eventually. As best I could tell, it seems like a game that was very inspired by like Undertale, like a quirky RPG with quirky characters and quirky mechanics and stuff like that. Just it's nothing that I don't think is really my cup of tea. We'll see. I'll watch her play, and I'll make my assessment there and seeing what she thinks about it as well. But yeah, this In Stars in Time, it's going for something. Maybe it's fun. Okay, this next game is also a Kathy game I believe she got for her birthday back in April. It's Tiny Bookshop. So one of them cozy games that are all the rage these days, where it seems like you're running a little bookshop from like the back of your car, like it's just hitched to the back of a car in like this little coastal town. And as far as I can tell, it's got real ass authors and real ass books in here. I'm not sure how you get away with that. Maybe there's different like licensing stuff with books. Maybe you could just mention books in other media and you don't have to pay anybody for it. I don't know. Maybe when you get down to like artwork or like actually quoting the book and stuff like that, that's when legalities come in. But I'm not sure. All I know is that like in the trailers and stuff, I saw Brandon Sanderson, who I'm a big fan of. His books are in there, which is neat. That kind of makes this game, when we're running a tiny bookshop, a lot more appealing if you're like super into books and stuff like that. And Kathy is, so I think she'd have a damn fun time with this when she gets around to it. She's currently playing through Suikoden 1 on the PS1 on the CRT here. So as soon as she gets done with that, we're probably gonna play some Suikoden 2 together, and then she can move on to her cozy games after we get the JRPGs out of the way. Okay, next up is a game I picked up for $5 off Amazon. It was, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a very good game, but it was only $5, and I'm going to save it for Christmas time because it is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Join in all the reindeer games and save Christmas. This is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer based on the Rankin and Bass claymation, stop motion, animation, whatever you want to call it, the 60s, 1960s Christmas special. I really adore those Rankin Bass Christmas specials. I have all of them on DVD, and I've got them on a Plex server. We'll watch them every year for Christmas. And Rudolph is the first one because it was the first one they made. And I saw this game pop up, Wario 64 on Blue Sky, $5 on Amazon. And so I looked it up. Like, I know they've done previous games, like they've done Rudolph games. They've done like, I don't know, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, stuff like that, like the DS and the Wii and stuff like that. And they're like garbage mini game collections, stuff like that. No, I don't want any of that. This seems like it's a 3D platformer, which is way more ambitious. And I bet it's not good, but it was $5, and like when Christmas comes around, we got the tree up and the lights up and all that stuff. I can load this up and have a nice little Christmas fun time, even if it's a shitty platformer. That's fine. I'll pay $5 for a shitty platformer if it has that Christmas vibe, like this one does. It's Rudolph. And next up is the last Switch game, or Switch 1 game rather. And it's a game that me and Kathy beat here recently. We are in our beat 'em up era this year. We played through a handful of them. This is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is the big Marvel beat 'em up made by Tribute, same people who did Scott Pilgrim EX, and this is a very fun beat 'em up with a bunch of different Marvel characters, where you're basically going Annihilus. He's taken over, and I'm not sure why. I had an Annihilus action figure growing up, and I never knew who he was. I just knew he was a green guy, kind of like a bug, and he had a big purple cape. And somehow they made him the big bad guy of this, and I don't know, I guess they didn't want to do Thanos, even though he's in this game. He's kind of the mid-boss. But yeah, you got a bunch of different characters, and there's like this, the big thing with this game is there's a couple of big things. One of the big things that I noticed was the characters kind of controlled differently, in that there's two different types. You got your smaller type guys like a Wolverine or a Spider-Man, they have a dodge button, and you got your bigger characters like I don't know, who we thinking here? I mean, Captain America, Beta Ray Bill, Nova. They block. They don't have a dodge button, they have a block button. So I gravitated towards my favorite characters is Wolverine and Spider-Man. That's what I played through this entire game, and they dodged and they were super quick, and I like that a lot. Then there's another thing in this game where each level has like we recommend you play as these characters, and I imagine it's because of the way the bosses work and on the way, just a way to incentivize you to play as different characters and not just stick to the ones like I did, which I wasn't incentivized at all. I was like, I'm going to play as Wolverine, I'm going to play as Spider-Man, and I might play as Venom. That's it. Like, you're not getting anything outside of me. Until we got to the last boss where it beat our ass like 4 or 5 times in a row. And I looked it up, and it's like, yo, you need to block. You need a character that can block. So I had to switch it up a little bit for that final boss. But as soon as I started blocking the attacks, his big attack that disrupted him, it was fine. We played through it, beat it, had a fun time. Fun music, fun backgrounds, very colorful. It has that 90s Marvel feel that I really love, and that's my bread and butter. Not this whole MCU mess. Mess. I'm just playing. But yeah, it's a fun ass time. I love it. It's a great beat 'em up. Okay, last game, and it is the lone Switch 2 game. It's Star Fox. This just showed up yesterday. I've already played through a handful of levels. Didn't do a complete run. I played like 2 levels. I played through Medios, and that was it. I was very excited for this game. I did pre-order it off Amazon because I did have an Amazon gift card, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this because I played the snot-ass Star Fox 64, and I know I like it. If you're at all curious about Star Fox, this game particularly, because it is a remake of Star Fox 64, just know it's short. Like, your first run might be like an hour. Like, you'll hit credits in that long. But the deal with Star Fox is that or Star Fox 64 rather, you have to hit certain objectives in different levels to change your route up. So effectively there is like an easy route and a hard route, but you have to know what to do to unlock those different paths. So to see every level in the game, which I would say is a goal of the game, like see everything that it has to offer, you might be talking about 3 or 4 hours at that point, which isn't a lot. And I did pre-order this game because it was cheaper if you pre-ordered it. It was $10 cheaper. I think it's 60 if you don't. It was 50 if you did. And, you know, $50, 4-hour experience, that might be stretching it for some people. And it's a bit stretched for me, but I love Starfight 64. So that's why it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I do have like a story about Starfight 64, getting that game when I was younger. It was like over the summer, like 97, I would say. This came out in the summer of 97. Maybe it was like late spring, early summer. My mom came to my room and said, you know, me and your dad want to talk to you. We need to talk to you. And like, my family never did this. I was like, what are you talking about? I was freaking out. I went downstairs and they asked me if this year for the summer, because all the previous summers that I could remember, we had rented a cottage, a little house on the beach, and went down there for a week, hung out, you know, ate at fish restaurants and hung out at the beach, played mini golf, all that fun stuff. Did I want to do that this year? Or they could buy me a brand new game? I was like, didn't have to think about it. I was like, game. And I was thinking, man, I really pulled one over on them, man. I get a free game for nothing. It's not even my birthday. It's not even Christmas. And now looking back on it, or even just a handful of years later, I was like, man, I saved them so much money by choosing that, because I'm sure it was thousands of dollars to rent out. They rented nice places and a walk away from the beach for an entire week. And this game was like $80, I think, when it came out for the Rumble Pack, with the Rumble Pack and everything. I really wanted to pre-order it, and I had my mom take me to Electronics Boutique at the time. It wasn't EB Games, GameStop, all that stuff. It was Electronics Boutique around here, and it was a whole town over. Went to go pre-order it, and with the pre-order for like an extra $10 or something like that, I got a free, not free, but you know, I added on 12-month subscription to Nintendo Power, which was great. And I also got the soundtrack for Super Mario 64, which blew my mind because I love the soundtrack of Super Mario 64. I loved it back then, love it now. And I just remember getting that soundtrack and it had 35 songs on one CD. I was like, how is this possible? Well, it's possible because most of those songs were just sound effects from the game. Like, here's a coin sound, here's a sound where you talk to Toad, here's the sound when Bowser talks to you or whatever. And all that came from like me pre-ordering Starfight 64. And then the day it came out, we went to go pick it up. And on the way back, my mom picked up some McDonald's. I got a 10-piece nugget meal, Coke, all that stuff. And I was in my room playing it, and she came to check on me, and she started laughing because I was like, had my McDonald's and I was playing my N64. And she didn't say this, but she said something similar to it. She was like, you're like a pig in shit. Like, you're just like the happiest you could be right now. And she was right, but she didn't say those exact words. But like, I swear she probably closed the door and I beat the game right then, because it doesn't take long. And that was surprising at the time, but you know, you keep playing, you discover other stuff. I was kind of sort of reading stuff online. Like, I think I did, or maybe it was Nintendo Power. Was how I got some of the stuff on. I had like the levels, but you do that and you keep doing more runs, and like, it's just such a fun thing to play. It feels so good to play. That's why I love Starfight 64 as much as I do. And from the 2 levels I played of this, I'm very excited to play more. But I'm pretty sure I will have it beat. I'm recording this on a Friday night. Sunday, I'm pretty sure I'll be beat. It will be beat. It will be on the shelf until I want to play it again, which I'm very sure that I will. Okay, that's been 10 more Switch games we have added to the Switch collection. If you picked up any Switch games here recently in the past, I don't know, handful of months, any Switch games you're looking forward to, are you going to pick up Star Fox and play it for 4 hours? Let me know in the comments, because I love talking about video games, love talking about Switch games, retro games, all that fun stuff. Anyway, please like and subscribe, you know, all that fun stuff as well. I've been Andy for the Pix Pub. Peace out.